Bass Pro Shops today wanting to buy something, and I picked up one of these Penn Battle III size 2000 spinning reel and rod combo. I was kind of impressed with the rod. It is 6.5 foot and actually has 8 eyes. They look like pretty decent eyes. It's well balanced. And the reel feels real smooth. And it seems about the right size I was looking for a nice inshore saltwater spinning reel. So I picked it up and I'm going to do a little video on how I like to set up my spinning reels. Okay, let's take the tags off of it and cut the zip tie that's holding the reel to the rod seat and take a look at it. It's got a double nut on the rod seat. That's pretty nice. And that spins it right up there, and the other one just locks it in tight. It's pretty nice. It's actually a nice feeling rod. Wish it was at least 7 foot, but I can live at 6'6". Alright. It's not a light reel, but it's an all metal reel except for the rotor. But the body and the side plate is aluminum spool. It's got the braid rubber band around the spool so your braid don't slip on you. It's a nice looking reel. It's got the CNC machine gears. With 6 bearings, 5 plus 1, 5 bearings plus the anti-reverse bearing. BLT3 2000. Looks like a pretty ideal size for nice inshore saltwater fishing. You're not going to take it out off of a reef and try to yank an amberjack or a grouper up, but for redfish and snook with the right line and nice open area, it ought to do pretty well. Nice tight snapping bail. Feels very smooth. Don't feel any roughness in it at all. Pretty well balanced. Got a little bit of a wobble to it. I imagine mounted on the rod you wouldn't feel that. It's a weekend day, so it's a little noisy with boat traffic out there. 30 inches per turn, gear ratio 6.2 to 1. Nice, a little flexible handle. Nice, comfortable handle. These come with carbon fiber drag washers, the HT100s. Of course, now the Fierce 3 also comes with the HT100 drag washers, which is nice. But the Fierce don't have the CNC machined gears, which the Fierce I have is an 8000 size, and I got a video on that. It's just as smooth, works just as well as this one. So, whether they're CNC machine gears or not, they're still high quality and fierce. Alright, now for the line, I chose some Yozuri Hybrid, 6-pound clear, fluorocarbon and nylon hybrid. I haven't used this before. Figure, give it a try. Put some 6-pound on here. I think this holds, what, 300 yards, a 6-pound. Let's braid. 180 yards of a 6-pound. Yep, 180 yards, a 6-pound test. Let's put some line on it. Usually when I put line on my spinning reels, I'll just put a pencil through there and let it roll off using a pencil. I got another video where I show where I have an electric line spooler, where I can take the spool off the reel, mount it into line spooler, and put the filler spool on there, and I can put the line from here right onto the spool without any line twist. But if you watch my video on that, you'll know why I don't put it on that way. Like I said earlier, this is a hybrid mono fluorocarbon. Never used that before, and I've never used this before either. It was given to me, and it's like a pretty ideal way of putting a line on here. Now, since this is a spinning reel, it don't matter how you turn your spool. If you're doing a bait caster, you'd have it coming off the top. That way, it goes over the top of your bait caster reel, and it keeps the line, you know, the memory the same. But that's just personal preference. Alright. This thing, I can actually adjust my tension on there so I don't have to hold the line with my fingers, and that usually takes off all the powder that they have on the lines. And it also just puts the oils off your fingers onto the line. So I just like to use the tensioner off of this, or when I got it on a pencil, I just use my feet and squeeze the spool. Makes it a whole lot easier. And I need to get the line on that rubber band there. That's on the center band of rubber. And I just usually use a clench knot. And just take that loop in there like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get through here. Stick it in here. And if you're lucky enough to still have the loop there, you don't have to pull that tight. Make sure your bail's open. Come on in. Now, especially if you're using braid, make sure you have the center of that line right across the center of that rubber band on there. Okay, that's okay. Just pull her down. Make sure it's good and tight. And usually about here, I'll go ahead and snip off that tag end. Now, if you wanted to be a little more cautious, you can tie another knot in the tag end and work it all the way down to the clench knot. That just gives you a little extra security there, but very rarely have I ever had a fish spool me to the point of that happening. Yep, looks like I made it a little too tight and it put too much friction on it and broke it. I gotta put a little less twist on my clench knot. I had too many twists on it. Alright, pull it off right here. Alright, go 1, 2, 3, I'll do 4. And did a hole. And back through the back. Okay, now let's see if this goes down. Oh yeah, it's a lot smoother than it should. That shouldn't bind it up. Alright. And pull it tight. Down a little closer. Snip off the tag. Right, did some of that rubber band across there. Pull it that way and that way. Make sure it's nice and tight. And if you're using braid, you definitely want to make sure it was tight and centered along that rubber piece. That way it won't spin on you. Roll it down a little bit right on there. Okay. Alright, well, close the bail. I guess I can, usually I'll just spool it on there. It's a lot easier using the pencil method, but since I got this thing, I might as well give it a try. And then you just start reeling it on there. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and put it on there. Use the thing just the way it's supposed to be used. Alright, this is Berkeley Portable Line Spooling Station in action. I like the tension. Good tension. Alright. It's actually really good tension. It's laying on there nice and even. That's nice. Of course, all my pen reels seem to work pretty well. They must have pretty good quality control. Tension on it. And this spool actually has a little filler line on there. It's kind of nice. Of course, I'm going to go a little bit past that just because I always have. Not too far though. You don't want to start casting off clumps of line. But I always like to go just a few turns past that line. Just give me a little extra. In case I break it. Well, that is on there tight. I'm up to the fill line now. You see where that little ring is on there? There's this. Okay. A little bit further. Okay. To me, that's ideal. There's how much I got on there. And I still got a pretty good little gap between that top edge and the string. Just a hair bit past the little fill line. If you notice, I even have it on the bottom of the spool. It looks like it's even on both sides, and it's a nice even line weight. I like that. I like that a lot. But now, coming straight off this spool, for every rotation of this rotor, it puts a twist in that line. And a lot of people tell you not to do it that way. But if you watch my other videos, you'll see how I explain how it's only short-lived at best. Once your line breaks after you cast it out, you start, you lost all your twists between the spool and the end of your line anyway. But anyway, this is about the Penn Battle, not about how to put the line on the spinning reel, even though I just showed you how I like to do it. Anyhow. Okay. Keeper. Put it back on the rod. Apparently I had to put it into the lower part and then slide it up to the top. And then it's got the secondary locking nut. Locks tight right up against it. I like that. Very, very secure. I'll say it's got a nice feel to it. Well, let's put a lure on there and see how she casts. Alright. This is going to be the very first cast of this brand new Battle III 2000 rod and reel combo. Oh yeah, cast that real nice, real smooth. Now this is that Yozuri hybrid monofilament and fluorocarbon line. It feels soft, you know, even though it's mixed in with fluorocarbon, it's still very soft. Good size lure. It casts on out there. It's got enough weight to get it on out there. Of course, I'm casting with the wind too, because that was a long cast right there. It was well over 100, 120 feet. Uh-oh. No, it ain't moving. Must be a limb, because it's... Ooh, listen to that line sing in the wind. Okay, just broke. Alright. Broke easier than I thought. There wasn't much stretch to it. Monofilament would have stretched a lot further than that before it just snapped off. So it's definitely kind of a mixture of fishing with braid and monofilament. Got a little bit more stretch than braid, but it's definitely not as forgiving as monofilament. But time will tell. I'd say that's the whole reason for fluorocarbon, is to be a little less stretch than monofilament, but nice and clear see-through, so as you don't spook the fish.